Hello, everybody. Good Sunday, Easter afternoon for me and evening for some. I just want to hop on for just a few minutes and I'll say who I am for those who are just tuning in towards the end. Um, I joined Instagram and the title of my page on Instagram is Dressed Up Outside. Well, I have gotten a couple of people who tagged me showing me photographs of themselves. One person was dressed very beautifully, and another person was dressed very nicely as well. And it started me to thinking. And I want to give you something to think about. Even though you're dressed up beautifully on the outside, got the hair, the nails, the skin tight dress showing all the beautiful curves, or it could be a loose dress, but you're dressed up beautifully on the outside. But I started thinking, I was like, you can dress up the outside all day long, but the wounds and the scars that you carry on the inside of you, guess what? Have you thought about you're still bleeding through your dress? Blood still shows through your dress or whatever you're wearing because those wounds are not closed up and you're bleeding all over the place. And you become a prey for a hunter. Men can sniff out their prey just as an animal, a wolf, a lion, when another animal is lame that they're hunting, they don't have to look. If they're bleeding, all they do is sniff the air and they can smell, or either they see the blood if a hunter has maimed a deer or elk or whatever it is they're hunting. All they have to do is sit back if they've wounded it because they can follow the trail of blood. That's the same way it is with you, woman, who have wounds holding on the inside of you. You're carrying all kinds of wounds, pain, and stuff that you have never, ever dealt with. You're bleeding all over the place. Last night, well, not last night, on Thursday night, I went to a place in Bellevue, and the women there were beautiful, had their diamonds, and you could tell they were quite wealthy. A lady that I sat next to, I know she was, and a couple, actually, the women at my table were. And one lady deals with uh, kind of like family issues. And I told her, I said, I started looking around the room, and I was like, all these beautiful women with all of their diamonds, all of their riches. I was like, how many of these women in this room are bloody, bleeding on the inside, in pain, and masking all their pain, not necessarily with clothes for them, but their jewels and their wealth. And she said, over half this room. So we walk around carrying wounds and pains on the inside of us that have not yet healed. And the older you are, as I said before, things that you don't deal with, you have not dealt with, you won't deal with, you're bleeding all over the place. You're still carrying those wounds like a container. And those wounds, if not dealt with, turn into diseases, mental issues, because they have not dealt with the pain and the wounds on the inside. So just because you're dressed up on the outside and beautiful on the outside, you still got those wounds and they're open and they're sores and they're bleeding all over the place. And this is the only analogy that I can use. I just thought about that. I said, you're beautiful, but you're still bleeding through your dress. And a discerning eye can tell that you're bleeding. And what you think about manifests somehow physically in your body. Not only painfully, but your body language screams different things. You can mask it up any kind of way you want to. Even the eyes are the windows to the soul. And you can tell when somebody is wounded and when they're bleeding and when they're hurting. But I can tell you on this symbolic Resurrection Sunday that Jesus rose and came back from the dead to make you whole again, to heal you in every place that you hurt, every wound that's been inflicted on you, whether it's the wounds of incest, rape, violence, rejection. You've been left by your spouse and you want to give up on life, or you've been left by someone that supposedly love you, or you've never even experienced the love that you so desperately crave. There's one person that loves you and that will love you above any and everything and all, more than your mother, father, sister, brother, husband. Anybody, nobody can love you the way Jesus can. So on that note, I'm just going to leave you something to think about. Are you still bleeding through your dress? And this is your first time ever tuning in and watching me. My name is Beverly, and this is Dressed Up on the Outside, but Messed Up on the Inside. And I ask you that. Are you dressed up on the outside, but you're messed up on the inside, like I just talked about? Are you carrying around pain and wounds and hurt and heartache? But I'm here to tell you, there is hope. You can and you will overcome. All you have to do is do the work. And I'll talk about that later. If you have any comments, please feel free to comment. If you want to reach out to me on a personal level, you can do so and call a Google voicemail at 253-271-8050. And I promise you I'll call you back within 24 hours. It's a voicemail only. Or you can shoot me an email at dressedupoutside@gmail.com. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful, awesome day.